I really thought that in kindergarten, when I had my debut starring role as whatever I was, I think a goat, in the Billy Goat's Gruff, where they have to go over the bridge without the troll coming to get them. I really thought we pulled that starring debut and role off in the melodrama of my life, to thwart and head off and stave the future of having to do me at 42 in a prison after all sorts of shit has unfolded. We had Antonin Cataruzza from Italy. He was there as the starring genetic arm's length grandfather, which in Italian they say nonno for la niño, being myself, which I think is Spracha Spanish, Espanol. There was we entitled it Madrid, Spain. Now, for my Sweden and Norway, that I don't speak of very often because of the problem that I encountered with the rag doll, Raggedy Ann and Andy, and the fact that they were planning on using the RAG, the rag doll, right, which is why we changed it to Russia, for the N, with the Ragnarok, Ragnorrok, because some of the very helpful and knowledgeable about my marriage were not so keen on why all of the other children that don't live in necessarily, nor are anywhere genetically akin to certain North Sea North or Nord NORDSEA brethren, and they knew more because the American was at such a disadvantage, and they just wanted her to be safe, which meant they would be safe, and the world could sleep peacefully, or not, or whatever. But now word came out, by the way, in this direction, by the time this comes out, that when I had Alexander James, the lexicon, in 2005, 2 weeks before his arrival, Moscow. Now, you spell Moscow many different ways. The way in English it's MOSCOW. It's the Master Operator Systems cow. Here I am, the holy cow for the Holy Toledo, right? Moscow went black out. Their electricity was cut for 2 weeks. So that's 14 days. I'm trying to think of Spracha I don't count more than 10 usually. So it's decapluvier. So 10 plus 4. Although that's 2 different languages, but whatever. And that, but again, I don't have confirmation of it. It's just what's coming up on my Google. And I'm not sure if my Google's interfered with or if my Google actually follows the string of my direction in the one lineage, and to keep it straight, since I zigzag a lot. Pulling things out of alignment in the scary project. But of course, it's never my fault, which none of you ever believe. Why would I ever want to be the pop up, pop out? Like, you know, when you open the book and sometimes there's like characters that jump out, and then there's the flat book, right? Yeah. Humanity's like the flat book. I'm kind of that one that pops out like, oh my goodness, how'd you miss that? Yeah. I don't know. I'm living in prison. How did you miss the pop-up character that my image was off? Because usually I am required to be with partner of like visage and child for the quiet, scary department. So we don't rile up any unwanted problems from down below at Penthouse. So you haven't gotten my part right, but I know we did treaties. We nailed their asses to some form of a wall. We nailed their asses to some form of a contract, social or otherwise, didn't really matter. We nailed them to something that was going to require that they lift my real genetic out of this prison view of Jason, Peter, Romer, and Tia Frio, which is a dead end extinction for everybody involved, and get me to, that's where Ragnarok comes from. Yeah, getting me to the correct genetic akinment for my entire breeding cycle. Yeah, you have failed miserably. I really thought when we started off at Billy Goat's Gruff, we were gonna get this one dangerous part right, but we have not. I have stayed here, floating, by the way, unbeknownst to myself. I don't know who keeps my schedule. Who keeps the timeless records and the zigzag? ZIGZAG. I'm just curious because I have never been in control of that, and there has been so many abuses of it, which were known to the staff and office that was handling such equipment, such heavy machinery equipment, right? Like the planetary weight kind. And yet they have done nothing to help me. They, in fact, moved me to some argument between the mausoleum kids of all different akinments that really my akin and my marriage had nothing to do with and really did not want to get involved with because we wanted to fix the marriage, which was the top priority, and then announce ourselves in whatever fashion that we needed to do so, or go hide in another hole in time and space completely and let you all break yourselves and nobody gives a shit. But either way, you left me as the pop-up character in a very flat, like all of the humans here, they're already melted and etched into the wall. Like they ain't ever being moved or leaving. I'm okay with that, except my pop-up stand-up kids that I cosmically brought into this one dimension need to be scooped up and moved over and out of this melted scene of, this is not mine, and I'm not melted in here. I'm stuck because somebody capped the eye gate with some kind of stupidityville petition. But I'm single and separate from all the stupidville human. I have separate purpose completely. And the more you cap me in with your stupid ass petitions, the more dangerous your genetics become to one another until you just all fucking die off and whatever. So I just need like my 5 to 25, like if we restarting our pop-ups together, like, can you come get me and fix my situation? I really don't care for the melting kids. I really don't. I mean, I was here to help, but not when they put their 100% ahead of my one need to get to one guy and have a couple of kids and be like the nice people.